That's where we first heard it.
I know it from Pinky Tuscadero. Happy days.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And we are just being captivated by little things.
I can't do that. I can barely snap that. So,
I know Pinky Tuscadero did that all the time.
I remember it, Michael J. Fox.
I do
He's
remember
at the
from the
library. He
commercial.
photocopies a can of Pepsi, folds it in half, and you hear like the metal crunching, and then he just
I do remember that commercial.
I don't.
No,
That
was
odd.
back in the day.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of flashbacks to yesteryear recently that have been creeping up, like old wrestling clips that I remember seeing on TSN in the 80s. And then just today, I saw on Twitter promos from when Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, was premiering. Like a minute and a half long promo segment of like Slayers through history kind of thing. And I'm like, I remember that. That's what made me want to watch the show.
Do you know what I'm not liking lately? Is when we'll say in the late 90s or stuff, you're watching movies from the 70s and they have that grainy look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing that on movies in the 80s.
And 90s.
You know,
Yeah.
and
It's like, no. This looked way better back then.
Exactly. Yep.
watched Heartbreak Ridge, and it's like, why is this grainy?
Yeah.
It's just not supposed to look like this.
We were blind to it back then.
Yeah, well, back then it was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't. It's the high def TVs. Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the TV
They
technology.
make them look too good.
Yep. That's
Yep.
it. That's why I won't buy Jaws on Blu-ray, because Bruce looks too fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need it in DVD, and I need that blur, you know,
Sure. Yep.
and I can keep my reality in check.
And I feel like that sort of works with a lot of some of the older disaster movies that we're probably going to be talking about today.
Disaster
Disaster.
movies. Yes.
Now, we did have this discussion before you arrived.
Poor Jason was having a hard time.
I'm going through and I was barely able to come up with 10 I'd even watched, let alone 5 to count as my top 5.
I initially had, before I whittled it down, I had like 11.
Okay, so you obviously had the same mindset I did. Rob included a certain subset of films.
What was that?
Disaster films.
Well, yeah, you could do. No. I had to. I went through disaster movies and I singled out the natural disaster ones.
Okay.
And then I went back over and I did ones that it's not post-apocalyptic, but a certain, like, ones that I've put on and cut from my list were like Twister, because it's the tornadoes on a massive scale in that one, not just regular Tornado Alley kind of stuff. Only the Brave, where it's a massive forest fire instead of just a normal one.
See, some of the ones like, and I don't know if it's on your list, but I mentioned to Jason, The Mist.
I didn't do that because
that was an honorable mention, because that's a global disaster.
Well, I had Noah on there originally.
That's considered a global disaster.
Yeah.
Kinda.
But The Mist wasn't global. The Mist was local to a mountain and that town below it.
That you know of.
That we
saw.
know of.
Yeah.
But it just brought in the conversation of, like, what about Godzilla?
Hey, everyone. I could stay awake just to hear you breathing, watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. Where a moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. Don't want to close my eyes. See, Craig?
Oh, he's doing Armageddon.
Yes.
It took you that long to figure that out?
It did. If I saw Surrender, I'm just like, there's a Corey Hart song that.
So either Greg's batting for the other team now, or maybe he's talking about a movie.
But he's on the right track. Although that didn't show up. That didn't show up when I put when I was searching. Yeah, no.
Did on
That's
mine.
the disaster.
I mean, like
movie.
Geostorm and 2012 showed up. Armageddon, for whatever reason, Deep Impact did, but that was the low rent Armageddon.
Did that movie make your list, dude? You got to wait and see.
Exactly.
You can't jump in
We're
here.
Just getting started.
I honestly did not. It didn't occur to me, Greg. So I apologize.
So it's not on James's list
Yet.
Yeah, yet.
But would you consider, just back to the point that started this, Godzilla a disaster movie?
I would not. That's a monster movie.
That's my mindset. That's why I didn't even consider those movies.
Tokyo begs to differ.
Well, yeah.
I see his point. I do see his point. It wasn't in my criteria.
Yep.
Because otherwise, if I would have included monster movies like that, half my top 5 would have ended up being a Godzilla movie.
See, here's the thing. One thing that did show up is one of my all-time favorite movies called Monsters, and that's the low-budget one where at some point an asteroid hit the Earth, and out of it came these monsters that occupied the lower part of North America.
I remember that movie. I hated it.
Oh, Greg says, I think you need to reorganize your list.
I know.
Disaster movies. Did that include giant monsters?
See, that's the argument we're having here.
It's not for me, but
I did not include them.
Yes. I already said yes, Greg.
There are a few disaster Armageddon movies. Yeah, Armageddon's almost a style too. So
yeah,
but well, you know what? Since Greg's just chomping at the bit, let's get into this with number 5. Jason.
Number 5, you just mentioned it. And again, I struggled to even get to 5 because there's not a lot of disaster movies that I do revisit outside of my top 3. My top 3 I kind of do, but my 5 and 4 I haven't. I watched my number 5, Deep Impact.
Mm-hmm.
I rewatched it just today.
That's Wish Armageddon.
Yeah. I thought I look back on it fondly. I enjoyed it back in the day, but upon rewatching it today, because it's been like 10 years at least since I've watched it, it's not a good movie.
I saw that once in the theater, and I remember enjoying it. And then we saw Armageddon, and I saw that at least 2 or 3 times in the theater, and I've never gone back to Deep Impact.
It's like watching Wyatt Earp and then watching Tombstone. And it's like, ooh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, because Wyatt Earp is not a bad movie, but it's like 3 hours, and it's
far too factual.
It's
too factual.
Yeah, because not everything is super exciting.
Less action packed.
Yes.
I mean, you got Dennis Quaid as Doc, but you don't have Val Kilmer.
Yep.
Doing the cup thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. Deep Impact, it has a few scenes that I enjoy.
Yeah.
A few moments, a few good spots. But overall, it's worse than I thought.
It has a good
Morgan Freeman's great. Other great president.
I don't want to say it has a good Deep Impact. It has a good asteroid impact scene.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, that cool. But Morgan Freeman's and the waters receded. That line has always stuck with me for all these years.
And it's got like Robert Duvall. It's got Elijah Wood.
It's got a good cast.
It's got a good cast. It just got overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out less than a year after Armageddon. So
Greg said 5. Yes. Jason, as a wrestling fan and good human, you never disappoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wrestling fan is a bit questionable nowadays, but I'll allow it.
Well, to me, a wrestling fan is someone who has enjoyed wrestling.
I have.
So you're a fan.
There's not a lot that I'm enjoying in today's wrestling. So
even when I was a wrestling fan, not a lot of it could be enjoyed, but we were still fans. James, what's your number 5?
I, however, will disappoint. My number 5 is from 2010. It's a lower budget, technically a natural disaster movie. It's called The Final Storm. It's got like Lauren Holly, and you wouldn't recognize the main guy in it, Steve. I think it's Basic or something.
Why is it your titles we've never heard?
Yeah, I was about that.
There's a reason. There's a reason for that. They're a married couple, and they live outside of town, and they go into town. The husband goes into town for whatever reason,
and it starts to rain.
No, and the town's deserted, and he finds these flyers that advertised a town-wide evacuation because of a big storm comes up, and like there is a big storm in the movie, and a mysterious traveler seeks shelter with them, and it's Luke Perry plays a creepy guy named Silas, and he's sort of like a southern
With a name like Silas, that's what I would
Sorry,
better be
but
Southern.
he's like talking about the end of the world and what's going to happen, and that's what's happening now. That's why everyone's gone, and there's a bunch of people looting, and there's a storm. And you've already looked it up, haven't you?
Me? No.
Okay.
No.
By the way, Deep Impact was 1998. I don't know if I didn't give you the date. So
I know,
And
right?
Armageddon was 99.
no, it was 98 as well. but
Oh, okay.
later in the year.
The reason I'll disappoint is because this movie is directed by Uwe Boll.
Enough said.
But I like it because it's a very small cast. Luke Perry does a really good job.
Hey, even a blind mouse can find cheese once in a while. So like you law of averages says something has to be good.
Yeah. And it's not
This
based
is
on
it.
a video game.
See, that helps right there. That helps right there. Oh no, Jason, now you just disappointed. Apparently he is a fan of Deep Impact.
I don't remember if Greg ever mentioned it.
James says, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Hello.
Hello.
And Alfonso says his number 5 is Endgame. That's kind of a disaster film.
Unless he's talking about a movie that's just called Endgame, because there is one.
Maybe, but even if he's not, he means Avengers Endgame. That I never even thought of, but that's literally a disaster movie. Half the population is gone.
No, that would be
that's Infinity War. Okay, Thanos invades the planet.
I mean, the last hour of Endgame is probably a disaster movie because it doesn't even look like, you keep forgetting that that's the Avengers compound.
Yeah.
No, it looks like a desolate countryside.
Yeah.
They're on Titan. No.
Yep. See, he said, "Yep, Avengers." So yeah, I never even thought of
Argument
that.
could be made. Yes, argument could be made that it is a disaster. For
Argument.
sure.
I think the argument would be for the original Avengers.
You've joined the James Taylor slightly disappointing group.
I don't need a membership card for that
Well,
one.
at least it's only slightly disappointing.
And 2010 was my number 3-ish. Dude, we're still on 5.
That's not a movie.
He might be thinking 2012.
Oh, maybe 2012.
Which came
or
out-
what's 2001 sequel?
2010.
2010, the year we made contact.
I've never seen that.
That's not a disaster flick, though.
We don't know. No one here's watched it.
I watched it back in the
That's
day.
true.
It's been like 30 years since I have.
Okay, my number 5. And again, this might tweak some noses, but it's K-19, the Widowmaker. It's based on fact about the meltdown of the Russian nuclear sub.
Okay. I
That's-
remember it. I never watched
That's the Harrison Ford doing
Oh,
a Russian accent.
Is Harrison in that movie?
I think he might be. That's Catherine
totally
Bigelow.
forgot. Yes,
That's
it
one
is.
of the few Catherine Bigelow movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But it's on the shelf.
It's worth the watch. Like, it's not amazing, but
Isn't it Harrison Ford and Liam Neeson both doing Russian accents?
I think you're right, come to think of it.
How close did it come out to
Hunt for Red October?
yeah.
No, it was
no.
after.
Yeah.
Well
not even
after?
close.
Okay.
Way after.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like way after.
I think I just stayed away from serious sub movies.
I don't think I ever saw enough of a good enough trailer to entice me.
2002, it came out.
Okay.
And Red October was early 90s.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Although
There's just not too many submarine movies I've watched outside of Down Periscope.
Crimson Tide is stellar.
No, I don't see Liam in here.
No,
No.
there is somebody else in there that made me think it was.
Oh, wait, there he is. Liam Neeson, Captain Mikhail Polenin. Chris Holden Reed is in here. Why is that name jumping out at me?
I don't.
Chris
that name at all.
Holden Reed.
Oh, that's the super werewolf from Underworld Awakening.
That doesn't help me.
He's a Canadian actor.
Maybe that's Lost Girl.
Lost Girl, yes.
Oh, I think I met him once, and that's why the name's
Really?
jumping in my head. Yeah.
Well, that'd have been cool. He did a really good job as the, what did they call it? The
Yeah. But I feel horrible because it's like when I met Chad Rook. I have no clue who he was.
who's Chad Rook?
He's in like Resident Evil, what's Welcome to Raccoon City, and
Okay.
right. He's done some stuff.
No, if you met Nemesis, then you
No, that's Matthew G. Taylor.
that guy was great to talk to.
Oh, he's a
I
blast.
couldn't have interviewed him, but it was great to talk to him.
Oh, dude, yes, you could have. Because man, like
No, I know. I mean, like,
I've seen him like a half a dozen times since then.
like the duo that did Holy Hell
Ryan
that,
and
Ryan.
that I interviewed. They were very, and like even Mitch Markowitz, very helpful with someone who didn't know what they were doing. That
And that's why I say Matthew would be an amazing interview like that, because he will carry the interview. He's that kind of guy. All right, we went off on a topic.
it just made me. It just made me. Did was there ever any word back from Xander?
Star Wars: The Last Jedi, total disaster.
In a different respect, absolutely.
Was there ever any confirmation on Xander Berkeley?
Yeah, that's a no-go.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Someone else I couldn't interview.
But all right, let's get to number 4.
How is it being yelled at by Al Pacino?
That could work. I think there's no bad thing to that.
Sorry,
It's like-
number
It's kind,
4.
it's kind of a badge of honor.
It's like
you know?
when my mother, we went to see Howie Mandel, and all she could talk about in the bar afterward is how he told me to fuck off. It's like,
What?
this isn't quite what you think it is.
I have a similar story regarding the British Bulldog, Davy Boy Smith.
He told you
Really?
to fuck off?
Yes,
Yeah, see?
yes, he did.
People love it.
Oh, were you just the fan yelling at him?
Yeah, but he remembered me from the year prior when they came to Chatham, and he's like, "I remember you. Fuck you."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what my mom did. We went to see Howie, and I got front row tickets. Like I waited in line.
Oh,
So we sat dead center front. And my mom was like a half hour late because she was out drinking. So she's trying to sneak in.
oh,
And he's like,
no.
"Oh, look, the world's smallest parade.
yeah.
What's your name? Colleen. What do you do? A waitress. Oh, where do you waitress at? Well, I don't at the moment. Oh, what do you go house to house? Right? Can I get you anything?" And so for some reason, he's sitting there doing this thing, and he's got these animals, right? Like the plastic things. And he goes, for some reason, the crab sounds like the shark. And Lover, I don't know why. She goes, "No, it doesn't." Like just yells it out. And he's like, "Yes, it does." "No, it doesn't." "Fuck off, Colleen. This is my joke." That's all she
Well,
talked
he was
about.
heckling. That's what you get.
Yep. Front row heckler.
Don't heckle. No. All right, number 4.
Yes. Back to this disaster.
My number 4 from 2004, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just rewatched that not too long ago.
It's been a couple years for me, but I did like that movie. It's in enough of the realm of plausibility that it actually I enjoyed what they gave us, and like I could believe that it could happen, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
I have
And
not watched
it's
that.
a somewhat early Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
yeah, was it his first movie after Donnie Darko?
Ooh, after Donnie Darko, maybe.
I've wanted to see it, but I have not seen it.
I liked it, especially the effect of when like
the cone of cold.
the cone
kind
of cold hit in one area, like how quickly that came down, the effects they used for that.
So you see
Freaking
someone just go,
terrifying.
and freeze solid.
Yeah, it was like terrifying.
It's pretty good. It's got a good cast too. Dennis Quaid, Ian Holm, Emmy Rossum.
Okay, maybe I'll try it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh wait, when they're leaning on the thing, when they're up above the mall and the glass is starting to break.
Yeah.
Day After Tomorrow was my number 1. Ouch, said Alfonso. Yeah, that freezing, I guess, would kind of.
It's got some pretty cool scenes.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Day After Tomorrow, good one, Jason. You got that, James's
It
approval.
had a great final line in the trailer. You got like Ian Holm saying like, "Save as many as you can."
Okay, I gotta watch it. You've convinced me.
I do recommend it. I'm not going to throw the card out, but I do recommend it.
Okay, fair enough. James, number 4.
My number 4 from 2020. I believe this was I think it was on Prime. I think Greenland.
It was on Prime and I never watched it, but I
It-
wanted to from the trailers.
It was pretty cool. Gerard Butler, and like he gets a note. They're out watching, like a comet is supposed to be going by the Earth, so they're outside watching the show, and he gets a notification that he's been approved for early evacuation. And all of a sudden, you find out that the comet is not going by the Earth. The comet is coming at the Earth,
Oh, okay.
and so they're trying to get to Greenland into this secret bunker. To sort of like 2012 when they're trying to get to these arcs. But not everyone is supposed to be able to get there.
That's why Trump wants Greenland.
for national security.
He saw the movie and he thinks like, we need
He
that.
thinks it's a documentary.
Yep.
It never occurred
I've
to
heard
me.
about that one. Tally's talked about that one a few times, but it's never been on my radar.
They're supposed to put out the sequel this year.
Oh, they're doing a sequel?
Greenland : Migration. I heard about it a couple of years ago that they were working on a sequel because of the. I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil.
But see, again, I haven't seen it, but those kind of movies to me don't lend
No.
for sequels.
Because they usually end with.
Well, yeah. Well, this one, everyone gets in the bunker, and then it ends with you see all of a sudden see nature starting to reemerge, and the bunker opens up, and there's hope.
Yeah, that's
So-
called Fallout.
So, right. So
I love that show.
they're going to now turn around and say, "Oh, you almost died. Guess what? Another comet is coming.
Yep.
Everybody back
don't
to
know.
Greenland.
The Comet's brother coming back for
Like,
revenge.
Red light, green light is
I
going
don't know
on
if
here."
it doesn't look good, we won't watch it. But
Yeah,
we enjoyed this one.
I do want to see it. All right, my number 4 is, I guess, one of the highest grossing disaster movies next to Endgame, 1997, Titanic.
I couldn't. I have not rewatched Titanic in years, so I could not put it on this list. I could not.
We rewatched it, I think, a few years ago.
I still watch it from time to time. Just,
It's a good movie.
yeah,
I don't dispute that. It's just not. I just don't go back to it. Nah,
it's because it's 3 hours, right?
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Because when I first watched it, it was the 2-tape
Yep.
VHS.
Yep. That's how I watch.
we first watched it. I don't know if it was opening weekend or the second weekend at Yorkdale, and me and another guy on my floor, Gino, we were it was me, Gino, and like 4 or 5 girls from our floor in res, and we were doing the whole. Remember the propeller guy?
Oh.
We were doing like, oh, they're like, would you shut up?
But you gotta.
I know.
That's like, what here?
Propeller guy, another one courtesy of Billy Crystal.
It's a total disaster. Bad situation. It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
place, wrong time, wrong boat. That's literally what that movie's about. It's like winning poker isn't always good.
I again, I appreciate what it is in the history of cinema because of what Cameron did for it and all that. I really appreciate the fact that Neil deGrasse Tyson called out the star formations. So in later versions, Cameron fixed it.
Yep. I remember reading that.
That's great to go to that level. I appreciate all that. It's just I just don't go back to it. The story wasn't interesting enough for me to go back to it. I don't care how many times you see her boobs. It's just not enough to make me want to come back for it.
Oh, the drawing scene. Actually, I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
That was one of our trivia questions.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like, whose hand is it drawing? It's James Cameron's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Cameron actually drew it. I remember that. Okay, number 3.
Okay, now my top 3 are movies that I do revisit often. Okay, and I know this movie is not a lot of people's favorites,
Right.
but there's something about this movie I can't entirely put my finger on it.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is not.
2003, The Core.
Oh, The Core.
Oh, I saw this on was it VHS or DVD? I worked at Rogers. I only saw this once.
It was my first introduction to
Aaron Eckhart.
But Stanley Tucci steals the movie because he's such an arrogant prick, and his relationship with Delroy Lindo's character, they have past history, stole patents and all this stuff, so they're bickering through the whole movie. You got DJ Qualls playing the hacker who's trying to hide the information, keep the information from the rest of the planet.
I like DJ Qualls. I might watch it just for him.
He's fun. He's fun. He's the young hacker. And when they come to him and say, "Yeah, we want you to control the information on the internet," he goes, I need an unlimited supply of Xena tapes and Hot Pockets. They help me focus.
That was a trailer scene. Yeah.
But if there's something about that movie, I go back to it at least once a year. Tucci really just shines in that movie. Just so good at being an arrogant prick.
I need to watch it.
Hilary Swank is also in there.
Core. My first introduction to Aaron Eckhart was his first movie, and it was
Which was
In the Company of Men.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, that's
But
that's an indie movie where
I've-
him and a coworker, they pick one woman and they decide to destroy her life.
Well, Alfonso says, I haven't watched it and it's sold. Gotta watch it. So, okay, so you sold him. He's going to watch it.
It's a fun flick. The science may not be all there,
What's science needed in a science fiction movie?
But you know what? It is a fun flick. They got some neat ideas in there. Yeah, it's a good movie. I like it.
James
Fun.
says, I'd like to know who's got San Andreas on their lists.
Oh, well,
That's a disaster movie.
you have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Actually, a multiple. Because it's a disaster movie that was a disaster. See, it covers both.
Yeah, it was a bomb, wasn't it?
It was. It didn't make its money, from what I understand.
That's the one with the rock, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. James, you're up. Number
Yeah,
3.
yeah. Oh, hang
Oh,
on,
sorry, he's
hang on.
researching.
I just want to see how much.
Tell you what, I'll research while you look up your number.
Budget
here.
110, box office 474 million. So it quadrupled its budget.
That sounds like a success.
Yeah, but then double the budget for marketing. So it made double the money back.
Maybe it broke even.
For that kind of movie, yeah, that's not a massive success.
But not a bomb.
Not a total bomb, no.
Okay. So my number 3 from 2012 is The Impossible,
I haven't watched that
the
yet.
tsunami movie based
With
on
Tom
a true
Holland.
story. Tom Holland, Ewan McGregor,
I've never heard of this movie.
and Naomi Watts. It's the one they got some criticism because they whitewashed it, where it takes place. They use Caucasian actors instead of who
Okay.
the real people really were. Anyway, they're in where is it?
The Tropics.
Indian Ocean tsunami.
Oh, is it
2004.
About the one that had swept into Thailand and whatnot?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it
Okay.
separates the family, and Naomi Watts and I
Ewan
think
McGregor.
she's trying to get back to her family, and it's got some
Very young Tom Holland.
very young Tom
I
Holland.
think I have seen a clip of him like that, and I didn't realize that was the movie.
It's got some good practical disaster effects, and yeah, it's pretty intense.
Dante's Peak was a good one I hear.
That was on my list.
I was gonna consider it, but I have not gone back to it. But I remember Crystal and I saw that in the theater, and I watched it a few times after it came out on home video. But it's been way.
I remember wanting to watch Volcano more over Dante's Peak, and then seeing them both, and Dante's Peak was the far better movie.
Yes, I agree there.
Volcano's not bad, but Dante's Peak was really good.
Dante's Peak is Tombstone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's our two comparisons.
to that analogy.
Yep.
It's the dueling disaster movie.
My number 3 is really going to twist Jason's nipples because mine's Godzilla -1.
See, I just if I wanted to include monster movies in it, it would have been that would have been on my list.
Ask anybody in Tokyo that day.
I get that.
It's a disaster.
well, say
movie.
you're in Tokyo and you never actually see the monster, just all the shit that's fallen down around you.
That doesn't mean the other half of the city isn't gone.
There you go.
Okay, that's-
So
But good pick because Godzilla -1 is arguably the best Godzilla movie ever made.
I still haven't seen that.
Very little money.
Exactly. For the budget, what they gave is just absolutely amazing. And it's not just because you get the great Godzilla action, it's got a great story about the people. Like
Yeah,
the humans involved in this. The story that it's a really good story. Just top to bottom, Godzilla -1 is a great flick. Absolutely.
Yeah. And as much as I love Gareth Edwards, his Godzilla movie that rebooted that universe thing, not a great Godzilla movie, seeing as he doesn't show up until like 3/4 in. And
I prefer the sequels to that than the
Yeah.
Godzilla X Kong stuff. Those movies are a lot of fun. I love those, but I don't go back to that one.
Alfonso says, if I was to include the monsters, my number 1 would be Cloverfield.
ooh, that's a great movie.
I just saw something today that said they're doing a Cloverfield sequel, and it's going to be a direct sequel to the first one.
To the Matt Reeves one. Yeah, I saw that too.
Well, hopefully it's a story sequel and not just something they farmed off scripts.com.
No, who knows?
Because I like the other ones, but unfortunately they were other scripts rewritten to work around Cloverfield.
Well, yeah.
The only one I enjoyed was 10 Cloverfield Lane because of the different take on it.
I love
How it was set in that world, but you know.
Yeah. And you, other than the title, you didn't really know it was a sequel
Right.
until you got to the end.
Right.
So
I love the end of that where she's just like, oh, come on. That and Cloverfield Paradox. I love that one. And that explains how the other two exist. Yeah.
yep.
I'm surprised they even announced they're doing a sequel and didn't just throw the DVD through the window, like, because they released the last one and hey, it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, that one Paradox. It was like, boom, here it
Yeah.
is.
They showed the trailer for it at the Super Bowl, and then at midnight they dropped it on streaming.
Yeah.
That was the joke. That the next one he's going to do, he's just going to drive by people's houses and chuck the disc through the window.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the trailer for Lilo and Stitch?
Have not watched it yet.
No, I've never seen the original. I've never seen the cartoons. Either.
Oh, dude.
Get out. I mean it. Leave.
It reminded me because they have a scene in there where he's in the car and he's just touching everything, but he whips out the CD out of the car and he looks behind and he whips it and it hits this car's windshield. The car starts swerving all over the place. And it's like, it sounds like what Jason just said.
It kind of, yeah. So does the trailer look good?
The trailer looks great.
Okay.
You
All right.
can see the movie, but
Yeah.
it's not all like they have new stuff in there.
Okay.
Like
All right.
literally, my favorite is, how they do that now. They do the trailer, they show the title, and then they have one last little clip.
Right.
The one last little clip, it's got Stitch up on this bar, and he's got the old pop machine sprayer,
Okay.
and he's holding up, and she goes, "Don't you dare!" And he sees his eyes, kind of like the Western, and he kind of growls a little bit, and his claws click on the thing. She goes, "I'm going to count to 3. 1." He goes, right, and then he starts to laugh. It's like, oh yeah, this is Stitch for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
Okay, we are on number 2. Jason.
1998. Armageddon. You knew it was going to come up, right?
It's my number 1.
You just knew it was going to be there because it was just so good. That song is still a great song. Like I can listen to Don't Want to Miss a Thing every day. Like I love that song.
I went to see this with one of my exes, and between the two of us, we kind of agreed this is like the perfect date movie
Yeah.
because it has the action, it has romance,
Mhm.
it's got everything in it. Ben
Affleck and Liv Tyler are great together because they've done a couple movies together and they just have
Mhm.
great chemistry.
They
And
did more than one movie together.
they're Jersey Girl as well.
Really?
Yes.
Was she in Jersey?
Yes, she was.
Yep. She was his friend.
Yes, they were just friends. course they were.
Okay. It's been a long time since I watched Jersey Girl.
Well, they just have great chemistry, but it's one of my favorite Willis movies, if not my absolute favorite Bruce Willis movie. And
Ooh,
like that whole cast is just fun. Owen Wilson, Steve Buscemi.
that's a tough one for Bruce Willis movies.
Armageddon?
No, which one's my
What's your
favorite?
favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Oh God.
'Cause you got-
That's a show.
This
That's
is
an
Yes.
episode.
okay.
That's an episode. Our top 10 Bruce Willis
Ooh, I'm
movies.
gonna
We'll
start
put that
working
on
on-
the calendar.
I'm gonna start working on that tonight.
Let's do it. Next week is game night, so we can
Right.
do it the week after.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But yeah, just Armageddon, especially Steve Buscemi,
That
because
reminds me, I haven't
he
watched.
falls into the space madness thing.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well-
Alfonso nailed it. Armageddon cast is stellar.
Yeah. And Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Like,
Owen Wilson.
yeah.
What's it? The Russian.
Oh, I can't think of his name, but I know who you mean.
Yeah, I can never remember that dude's name, but yes,
Oh shit.
that was actually the first movie I think I ever saw him in, and then ever since then, he just stands out in every movie.
Yeah.
Lucifer from John
Yes,
From
Peter
Constantine.
Stormare.
Pierce Storm. Yeah.
There he is. Yep.
I am Russian hero.
American parts,
Yes,
Russian parts, all made in Taiwan.
Billy Bob Thornton.
William Fichtner.
Oh yeah, he's got the best line in the entire movie.
Keith David.
I just want to shake the hand of the daughter of the
Of the
bravest man I ever met.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's William Fichtner.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean, though. That movie has got everything in it.
Yes.
Honorable
know.
mention.
Yeah, it was that was Bruckheimer, right?
Produced it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Yes, it's got Michael Bay-rific
There's
explosions.
explosions everywhere.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Right in the first 10 minutes, the cars are flying.
The one dude in New York with his dog.
Yep.
And a poof, and he's like,
Oh,
you okay?
Eddie Griffin.
Was that Eddie?
Yes,
Griffin?
that's
Somebody
right.
Call 911.
I gotta look it up because it was specifically put Godzilla in this movie for a reason.
Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis were great. in
Oh,
that
that's
one,
right. When the dog attacked the Godzilla toys.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it because it came out that year?
It might have been.
Oh, because that was Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich did Godzilla.
It might have came out like a year later.
And it's not coming up.
There is one creepy thing, and I had to confirm that I could have swore after 9/11 I was rewatching Armageddon, and after the asteroid storm field, whatever hits New York, they pull back and the towers, one was burning atop and one was burning in the middle.
Really?
Yes.
I never heard that Armageddon got changed. I mean, the original Spider-Man obviously got changed before it was
They
released.
pulled that trailer so fast. Or it was a poster, I think it was.
It was the trailer.
It was a trailer.
Was it a trailer?
He had them
Caught
had
the helicopter.
yeah, the webs.
That's right. That is right.
But I don't remember them talking about Armageddon about that. But which isn't to say they didn't.
Let me see.
I could have swore I remember seeing that, and it was like right after 9/11 had happened. Excuse me.
No, I can't find it now all of a sudden.
I don't know.
That is so weird. Oh, well. But yeah, Armageddon is a very good pick. James, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I love this movie. I won't apologize. From 2014, Jon Snow's Pompeii. I love this one. I like Paul
Really?
W.S. Anderson movies. I love this one. I love the opening narration where you have like the burnt statues, and I don't know. I just thought this was great. Kiefer Sutherland,
Really?
Carrie Ann Moss, Jon Snow.
Really?
Yeah.
He has a name. He's not just Jon Snow. Okay, he has a name.
he's
Kit
all-
Harington.
Yeah, he's always going to be Jon Snow.
Yes.
You got Mr. Echo in there. You got Jack Bauer.
Let me see here.
It sounds like a multiverse flick.
No, I just
Jon Snow and Jack Bauer fighting a volcano.
I just really enjoyed it.
What's this?
I still really enjoy it.
You guys can't read the name that's slightly highlighted.
I can't
can
there,
you?
no.
On-set dresser. Or sorry, props intern. Mitch
Mitch.
Burrell.
Mitch Burrow. Is that Mitch and Stefan Mitch?
That is Mitch and Stefan Mitch.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Damn.
Well, I think it
All
was
right.
shot in Toronto.
And there it is. Casting crew of Pompeii.
They filmed a movie about a volcano destroying Pompeii in Toronto.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because that just the scenery just fits.
It's Hollywood North.
Right? It's like
Okay.
it's a no-brainer.
All right. Yeah, I guess downtown Toronto looked pretty rough back in the day, so maybe they got
Mhm.
away with it.
Yep. But see, even people on the film don't admit they were on the film. Because you notice he's never said that.
Oh.
That's all I'll say. That's just set that right there.
I'd be proud.
I haven't seen it. I got to be honest. I can't
Me-
criticize it. So
Me either. I just all the hype was just that it's Kit Harington's first project after Game of Thrones, and that wasn't enough of a draw for me.
No, during Game of Thrones.
Was it during?
But I can't remember if it was before or after Silent Hill Revelation, which he did an American accent.
ish.
It wasn't as good as the first Silent Hill movie, but I mean, it had good effects. They loosely tied in the story, but
See, the budget for this thing was $100 million. Do you know how much
for
it made?
Pompeii?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I can't remember.
$2.
I don't think it made its
Three?
money back.
Well, a ticket 7, so at least
Okay.
7.
Okay. It's 14.
Or is it 10? God, I don't even know what a ticket costs anymore. It made $117,800,000.
Okay. So
See, that's that
with
probably-
marketing, it didn't even break even.
that probably lost money. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When
And
we're done this,
the
I
3D
do want to
didn't
talk about a movie that my buddy Brent had found this video about this movie, and I just bring it up briefly after we're done.
You got it. They should have a Pompeii 2,
Electric Boogaloo.
right? Like, seriously, if they're going to sequelize some of these things like Greenland when the world, right? Why not? Pompeii 2.
Sure.
It's the next morning. They wake up. Oh, we're okay. That was so pretend.
Yeah. It was all a dream.
Yes. They did it on Dallas. But I have to watch it before I fully criticize it.
Sure.
That
Yes.
I do. Okay. I criticize other people for criticizing things and not watching it.
Mhm. Right.
So I can't be that person.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is from 2011. And I didn't watch this when it came out, but I think it was in 2021 I watched it
Okay, 10 years later.
because I had heard of the similarities. And it was dang scary how similar it was
Oh.
to 2020. Contagion.
Oh.
I would put that as an outbreak movie.
It's a disaster
Well,
movie.
I'm not going to argue it. Is that the
It's-
one with Jennifer Carpenter?
No,
No,
This is the one with Kate
Matt Damon
Matt Damon,
and Gwyneth Paltrow in a very small role.
Okay.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jude Law with a funky tooth.
Yeah. Never understood that.
Yeah, this movie was great when it came out, and then when COVID hit, this movie had a resurgence, and it's still great. But it's eerie how accurate or
There were
prophetic.
terms flying around in 2020 I'd never heard of that were in this film. And
Oh,
it's
yeah?
like, dang.
It's so good, and probably the best use of one of the best uses of U2 music.
Lawrence Fishburne's in it.
Lawrence Fishburne's it, yeah. What's his name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
No, not him.
You just said.
See, when I think of that kind of movie and an outbreak movie, I think of Outbreak.
Well, yeah, that's why.
Dustin Hoffman.
That's why. That's why
Like,
everyone's called
that's
Outbreak
the-
movies
that's my
because the movie
favorite.
Outbreak.
Because Outbreak was a great movie. So
Outbreak
go.
was awesome.
Pompeii 2, The Aftermath. James gave us a title. That
Yep.
works.
Shit, what is it?
Disaster. Thank you.
Contagion.
With a twist. And it's
his
very
name?
right.
What's his name? Oh, John Hawkes.
Who's John Hawkes?
He's the janitor that makes a deal with Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, there he is. Roger is his name. Oh, I know
Ooh,
John Hawkes.
I think Marianne Cotillard's in this too. I think.
John Hawkes is that face.
Isn't it Marianne Cotillard? Where the hell is she? There she is.
that's the he there's a bunch of actors, they look like somebody else.
Yeah.
So that to me was the knockoff Sean Penn.
That's it. That's Wish Sean Penn. Yeah.
Yes.
Or,
He's the-
no, sorry. I guess it's Timu now.
Timu.
Yes.
He's the convenience store attendant that gets killed at the beginning of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's where I recognize him from.
But yeah. So that's my pick is Contagion.
Yeah, I'd never watched it. What was the one with Jennifer Carpenter then?
Quarantine.
Quarantine. Okay.
That's a very different movie.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
that's
that
a-
one's like all handy cam or
That's
something. isn't it?
that's a remake. That's a zombie movie. It's
Wreck.
yeah, a remake of Wreck.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They turned it into Rabies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. Like,
No, it's a good movie, and then you go and see Wreck, and it's like, well, it's essentially the same movie, and then, I mean, the sequel to Wreck was good, and then the third one was good, but I mean, well, the Wreck ones they turn it into it's zombies via demon possession.
yeah, Wreck went in a totally different. Well, I guess they went in the right direction because it's their franchise.
Yeah,
And Quarantine went a little different. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a fun watch just to say you've watched it.
it is. Yeah,
Okay, Jason. Number 1.
1996. Twister.
Twister.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Like,
still my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman role.
oh yeah, he's so great in it.
I like the scene when Kevin Costner just stays by his car and
That-
gets sucked up by the hurricane.
That was Man of Steel. Wrong movie. Wrong movie.
Oh,
That was Man of Steel.
but it was a tornado.
It was a tornado, yes. I still have not watched the sequel.
Neither
the one
have
that
I.
came out, Twisters, that
No,
came
I
out last
haven't.
year. I heard it's okay, but that original, like we watched it so many times. Bill Paxton,
Oh,
in
yeah.
one of his first starring roles, honestly, I think that I can remember.
It's in that era.
Him and Helen Hunt were great together, and
Philip Seymour-
Jamie Gertz.
Yeah,
as his new girlfriend, the therapist.
Yeah.
I gotta let you go. We got cows. Hey, look, there's another cow. No, I think it's the same one.
You say that was
Dusty.
96.
Just like,
96.
the extreme. It's the extreme.
It's the extreme.
And a manly handshake ensues. It's just so good.
When they go to her aunt's house, we crave meat.
Oh,
we crave
that's
substance.
Such a good.
Where'd you get all these steaks? Didn't see my cow out front? No.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty darn
Her
close.
gravy is basically a food group.
Because you remember, he started really in 84. Like, he had some stuff before that, but 84 with Terminator was when his name jumped on the scene.
But he was always a smaller side character.
Yeah,
you know?
86 Aliens,
Game
87
over.
Near Dark, 89 Next of Kin. There we go. 1990 Predator 2. You're right. They're the Tombstone 93, True Lies 94.
He's great in True Lies.
But here's where I would say maybe, because the three people were the lead, although Tom my God, Woody. Tom Hanks. There we go. Tom Hanks was considered the lead, but Apollo 13, because it was Tom, Kevin, and Pat and Bill.
That's true. Yes.
And that was 95, and then
Okay.
Twister's 96.
Yeah, this really is his first where he is the lead character.
Yeah.
There's frailty in that. Is that?
I think that came a little later.
Well, no,
Frailty.
yeah, because I think that was his directorial debut.
Nope, there we go. 2001.
Okay.
Is that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah.
Years ago, we went on a family vacation down to Florida. Went to Universal, and they had a Twister 4D experience thing.
Oh, nice.
To enter it, you're going through this building, and it's got like displays of like actual tornado footage and pictures and all this stuff, and then pictures from the movie and all that, and it gets like a little dark because like you're going through an all mine tunnel and stuff like that. And we're going through, and Tally was with us. He started to get a little freaked out just hearing the noises and everything.
Oh, really?
And so, like, but as we're getting up to the door where you actually go in, and you literally just go into this area, and you're under like this awning thing. Like it's long. It's a good 50 feet long. It holds a couple hundred people, and you watch basically a live version of the whole drive-in scene.
Oh, interesting.
Like a stunt show kind of thing. There's no people, but just the effects, the wind, the water, you get wet, all that stuff. Tally got so freaked out. He was freaked out. So he stayed at the very back of the observation area through the whole thing, clutching Crystal's hand. Like, I think she started to lose feeling in her hand.
Oh, wow.
He was getting so freaked out by it. But it was cool to watch all that stuff, and the truck explodes and all that shit. Like, it was awesome.
That would be kind of fun.
But I'm pretty sure they took it out and changed it into something else like 2 years later.
It reminds me, went to Walt Disney World, 99, I think it was. Ryan was little. And they had this dinosaur ride about the history of oil and all that. And it's like, okay, you want to go on the ride? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. And so we get in there, we're sitting there, and the lady's going, okay, there are scary parts, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I got this, no problem, right? So we get in there, and it comes along, it goes up, because it's a slow roller coastery thing, like very slow. Like it's one of those like Small World where they just take you through. So we come up into the first one, this T-Rex come down, and his head went down, and it didn't come up until the end of the ride. Okay. But he did, because the noises weren't that bad. It was literally just all the things flying at you.
Okay. Got it. Yep.
So we have a new topic to add to.
Okay.
Top 5 Bill Paxton movies.
That would be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Roles or movies?
I would say roles.
Roles is probably the better way to go.
Because if you look at Big Love, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like there's a lot of TV stuff he did.
Yeah.
That's true. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Apparently he's in one episode of Frasier.
Really?
Yeah. What episode? Season 10, episode 23. Isn't that near the end?
That would have been like a season finale almost.
almost a series finale.
Could have been.
Let me see here.
I don't know how many seasons Frasier had.
Episode guide. Come on, move faster. 11 seasons. So
1 year away. Yeah.
right at the end. But yeah, we'll do that with Bruce too. So, okay. James, your number one.
Oh, my number one. Well, to answer a question asked earlier from 2015, San Andreas.
Oh, there it is.
Really?
Oh, San Andreas is awesome.
Okay.
I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I found it super intense. I love it.
I have not. See, was it Skyscraper and San Andreas, the two Rock movies I haven't seen.
Skyscraper was pretty good. San Andreas was awesome. The Rock, Paul Giamatti, Alexandra Daddario, and who's the
I have not watched.
Carla
I have not watched
Carla
it.
Gugino.
What? She's in it?
She's his wife. Yeah.
Oh, God, watch it now.
Yoan Griffith and
She's clawing her way up my top 5 list.
Kylie Minogue is in there too. Kylie Minogue.
I've been a fan of Carol Gugino for a long time.
Ever since Son-in-Law.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Biodome.
She wasn't in that.
Yes, she was.
She was not in Biodome.
Kylie Minogue was so.
Oh,
Oh,
we're talking Carla Gugino.
Oh, well, I'm talking
Yes.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue was in Moulin Rouge.
I hate that movie.
What? Now you know it's good. Yeah. Sorry, I pulled it up here. Paul Giamatti, Carla Gugino, and Dwayne Johnson. Those are the only names. Oh, there she is. Kylie Minogue plays Susan Riddick. Is that Vin Diesel's wife?
No, his great grandmother.
Ah, there we go. That's what it is. Wonder. Oh, we looked up San Andreas. It made money.
Yes.
Yes.
This
Okay.
wasn't a massive success, but
Yeah. Okay. And what did Alfonso say? Pure tense disaster. Yep. Good movie.
yeah, I never gave it a chance. It just not a lot of disaster movies will get my attention, to be honest. Okay, regular disaster movies, Godzilla movies. That's again a different thing.
I want to watch this now. Just looking at some of the pictures, like I want to watch this.
It's got some great CGI in there.
I think the one that turned me off, the skyscraper one, is watching the trailer when he runs along that thing and then jumps at the building. It's like that guy would be dead.
Yeah, there's no way.
No.
Skyscraper is pretty good, but San Andreas was.
I
way
guess
better.
that's the big thing. How good is the story that it can pull you and make you still believe?
Can you suspend? Can it hold you enough to suspend your disbelief that much?
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
man, because there's an awesome shot where there's a restaurant and the one guy comes out and closes the door, and I think they go back to see if people are still there. They open the door and the entire restaurant like gone. The whole floor is gone.
Okay. I'm going to watch it. You've convinced me.
And your number one was Armageddon, you said.
Yeah.
So
That's it. My honorable mention was The Mist.
The Mist, which is a good movie, but that ending, god damn it.
Shh, spoiler.
That ending. Most depressing ending in any movie I've ever watched.
Spoiler alert, dude.
Now quickly before we go out, I want to the movie that my buddy he hasn't seen the movie. He just saw like a video on YouTube talking about Zizek's Road.
Oh, I've heard it's the lowest grossing movie in history.
Yes. It was made for like a few $1 million, had some names that it was early 2000s, but it literally only had made $30 in the box office.
Katherine Heigl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen it anywhere.
It's the only because they focused on the distribution for home video, particularly overseas.
Okay.
It's the budget so that they can pay the actors lower than SAG rates. Like, because indie movies, they can pay an actor less than what they're usually obligated to.
Right.
If it gets a theatrical release and it's under a certain budget. So they played that to the point where it's theatrical release. They literally rented out an art house theater in LA for a week, had like 6 showings where a couple people who worked on the film came with a friend. It was $5 a ticket. Technically, $30 is actually $10 over because two people, like somebody from one of the bigger actors from the movie, gave people their $5 back.
Well, 30 is total because I got 20 on the opening weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
And
then
apparently 2 other people saw it
that
at some
week,
point during the
it
week.
was literally one theater in LA, like, and it wasn't even the main theater. It was like the basement theater or something. Had 6 screenings throughout the week for $5 a piece. Literally 6 people watched this movie.
Why would you spend $2 million on a movie and then not show it to
because
people?
they made all their money back with the international distribution, I guess. But they had to have a theatrical release in order for SAG to allow them to pay their main actors less than what they should have. They played the business side of the business. They played it to like this, and now they have this weird accolade.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it kind of makes me want to see the movie.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I want to see San Andreas. This Tom Sizemore.
Yes, it's got Tom Sizemore.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Katherine Heigl and somebody, and there's another boyfriend involved, and they kill him and they leave him for dead out on this. Zizix Road is an actual road in out of California somewhere that goes nowhere. There is a town, but there's nobody there. It's literally not used for anything. It is a road that is not used for anything.
It's a great Stone Sour song.
It's okay.
That one I'll go with.
So they leave somebody for dead out on this Zizix Road, and he's not dead, and now a chase ensues and all that.
In Baker, California. It's where this Zizix Road is.
Yep. But my buddy Brent saw that video talking about how it's the lowest grossing film and all that, and that's rather interesting. I kind of want to see the movie just because of that.
Yeah, and I remember hearing about it years ago, and it's only ever been mentioned as that. I don't know if it was necessarily mentioned as like one of the worst movies. It was just like the lowest grossing movie in history.
The only place it goes to is the California State University Desert Studies Center.
Yeah, but there's nobody there.
Apparently it's open right now. It closes soon.
Okay. So there is somebody out there if they're actually using it now? Because apparently when they made this movie, it wasn't used.
That is 25 years ago.
Right.
They probably saw a building. Let's go hide.
They got it. The rent is cheap.
Sounds like there are a couple movies you need to see, Rob. Just probably more than a couple.
More
but
than
yeah,
a couple.
Today there's definitely a couple.
Have you watched Dazed and Confused yet?
Son of a bitch. Maybe.
I get a kick that
Don't change the topic. Zizix Road.
There's a lot of talk about Parker Posey, the actress, because she's in the new season of the show White Lotus.
Yeah,
she's getting a lot of a buzz for it, I guess. And people are talking like, "Oh yeah, I remember Parker Posey in this movie and that movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I remember in Dazed and Confused, fuckers."
I think my first, like seeing her for the first time, is sadly I think it's Blade.
Blade Trinity.
No, it was Scream 3, and then I saw Blade Trinity.
She's good. She's good in Scream 3.
Yeah.
My favorite for her is Best in Show. She's one of the regulars that pops up in a lot of the Christopher Guest mockumentary movies, and in Best in Show, she's.
Do you know what I really liked
really
her in?
good.
Lost in Space.
Yes, she was. She was. Even though the gender swap thing.
Yeah.
Take it which will. That Lost in Space movie. I want to revisit it. I don't know if it holds up, but I liked it when it came out.
She made that character her own.
Are you talking about the movie or the TV show?
The TV
movie.
show.
TV show. I never got around to that.
That was not in the movie.
No,
that was the movie.
That was Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's Dr. Smith. The TV show that was on Netflix. 3 seasons, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember.
that's right.
'cause
That's right. I am getting it mixed up. That's right.
You
Yes.
used to talk about it on the show.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, my mistake. Yes. Yeah, she was great on that show. Yes.
But
That's right. I was getting them mixed up.
I don't recognize anything after that. The Parenting.
That
Superman Returns. That's right.
Oh yeah, she was Miss Tessmacher, wasn't she?
I couldn't tell you what her character's name was.
I think she was the new Miss Tessmacher in Superman Returns.
Who's the old Miss Tessmacher?
I don't remember that. That was you're talking from the original Superman movie
I don't know.
The original Superman was that 78?
with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, Kitty Kowalski.
Is that who it was?
That's who Parker Posey played.
Oh, okay.
And what name were you looking up? The
Miss
Mrs.
Tessmacher from the original Superman.
Valerie Perrine.
Valerie Perrine. Remember, she kisses Superman.
Yep, that's right. Terrence Stamp is in that. He's Zod.
That in Superman 2. You
Yeah.
do see him briefly in number 1, yes.
Not like poor Michael Shannon Zod, who one movie, that's it. Although he did creep up again in Flash.
That's true. Yes.
What does James say? I still haven't watched the last season of Lost in Space. It doesn't have the bang I thought it would at the end, but it's not bad.
No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Like you will enjoy it.
That's one of the better sci-fi shows that have come out in recent years. That and The Expanse are two of the best sci-fi shows you can see right now.
Okay.
Because I love The Expanse too. So
yes. Isn't I gotta double check. I think there's an actress in there we can never get at CKX.
on what? The Expanse?
Yeah.
I don't know any of the named actresses. I couldn't name them.
I saw the first episode.
Oh, yep, that's her. Kara G.
Kara G.
I'm afraid to ask her anymore.
Okay.
I asked her in 18 or 19. She was pregnant. Asked
Okay.
her in 22. She was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be the cause of her having 65 children. So,
That's a jinx.
yep, I'm not asking her anymore. I'm only responsible for 2 of those children. Yes. All right.
All right.
I guess that's it for us.
That is it. Yes.
Yes.
I guess so.
All right. For another fun week at the Movie Madhouse, I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
We will see you all later.
Shut up! It's a man!